Hey everybody, Furious Jodo here again, doing some more matches from the ESL IEM tournament that happened around August 18th, 19th in Cologne, Germany. This is going to be the matches between WhiteRa or DuckloadRa at the moment and the little one. The little one spawning as the blue Terran, WhiteRa spawning as the red Protoss. Now this is a match we've seen before, and WhiteRa usually wins this one, but that was also back. That was also back when the little one played random, and the little one usually got Protoss when they did random, and Protoss is, I believe, his worst matchup, his least favorite race. We have a scout going out for WhiteRa, relatively simple builds going. Nothing too crazy. We're not going to see, I don't think anything too crazy from either of these players early on. The WhiteRa has a tendency to just be a baller, but so does the little one. We are on Metalopolis, very large map, and we are on opposite positions, so they are as far away from each other as they could possibly be. Barracks going down for the little one, Gateway going down for WhiteRa. And I'm interested to see what kind of build they'll go for. When I play as Protoss, I almost always get a fast Stalker out. Stalker's usually the first unit I have out against Terran, just because Reapers are so strong, but they are super far apart, so WhiteRa won't have to worry quite as much about that kind of harassment. But we'll see. We do have that refinery going up now for the little one, and there it is. And let's see how fast he gets it saturated. And there we go. Looks like 3, though he pulled one of them to go after this probe. Gateway finishing up for WhiteRa, and that assimilator has gone down. We got some Marines being pumped out for the little one. Looks like he's just rallying them to this probe right next to it. Clicky, clicky, click. We've got a Cyber Core going down for WhiteRa behind his minerals. Not really hiding it, probably more protecting it. Kind of making sure his buildings are in a way so that once he does get this Zealot and maybe a Stalker or Sentry out, he doesn't have quite as much area to worry about. Bringing his probe back, always kind of saving it, doesn't even lost that much. Only 6 health, so he did a little harassment, did some fighting, and got pushed back. Second supply depot going down for the little one. Cybernetics core just now finishing for WhiteRa. Still pumping probes, still just on 1 gas. We do have a Stalker coming out now. There is an SCV in his base, just doing some scouting. Getting PM'd. And sorry about that, still going on. So Stalker coming out, both continuing to macro up. SCVs and probes being pumped out. We do have a factory that went down for the little one. And we do have a tech lab up now on this barracks. And we will just see him go straight for Marauders. Not going to bother with Reapers. It's a little late in the game for that anyway. And Marauders are very, very strong against Protoss. You can kite Zealots with it until they get Zealot legs, which is quite a while. And we do have... Wouldn't be surprised to see that concussive shell research go down relatively quickly too. It just makes Marauders very, very strong against Zealots. And they're already strong against Stalkers, being that Stalkers are an armored unit. Has some Zealots just chasing around an SCV, TLOs just running around. Nice pylon placement here from WhiteRa. Just lets him see what's going on. You can warp in units over here if you need to. Just really handy to have that. We have a small force pushing out here from the little one. Looks like it's a Hellion, 2 Marines, and a Marauder, but I think he's just hanging out with it. He'll probably reinforce that a bit. From what I've seen of the little one, he has a tendency to send a kind of small force up, and then when his reinforcements show up, when he gets just that much bigger, that's when he usually pushes out. But at this point, looks like he's just gonna hang around, checking things out. We do have some more Zealots. We have a robotics bay that came up for WhiteRa. More gateways going down. Looks like he's going 3-gate robo. Pretty standard build, very strong against most matchups. There's only 3 matchups, but Hellion coming in to check things out and just gonna back off. He knows those Stalkers are there. There is a proxy pylon from WhiteRa over in the smoke at this other base. I'm wondering if we'll see any sort of Stargate show up there or something. WhiteRa definitely likes to hide his tech sometimes, or maybe that's just so that he can Kind of sneak stuff in if he ever needs backup. And the little one getting more barracks, putting a reactor on that factory. No add-ons on this barracks. Oh, looks like he actually swapped that tech lab for the starport. And we do have a Raven coming out. TLO actually seems to like Ravens, actually. Probably just maybe making sure he has detection, and those point defense drones are very good against stalkers. This stalker looks like it may actually go down to these 3 Hellions, but there is one backing it up, but he does not take it out. Expansion going down now for whiteRa. A Banshee on the way for the little one. So we may see some Banshee harassment. I don't believe... Let me just check the units tab real quick. Yeah, whiteRa does not have a observer out, so if we see cloaked Banshees coming in, it's going to be a little bit of time before he can actually do anything about it. And is there Banshees? No Banshees finished yet. Transferring his probes to his expansion. He's got an Immortal out. He's got some Zealots and some Sentries. Not as many Stalkers as I would expect, but he may be just conserving that gas. Or not conserving. Trying to use it on those Immortals. We'll see. Alright, there are 2 Banshees now out for the little one. He's producing 2 more Banshees as well. And still just producing some Marines, using up those minerals that he has. Sending out 3 more Hellions. Nope, just moving around in his base. Simulator going down on the expansion for whiteRa. He's got 2 Immortals out now. His force has just been scanned. All he didn't see was, and there's that observer. So he will be able to see these Banshees if they do fly out. Little one looks like he's going to fly in with a couple Banshees and also push with a kind of a ground force here at the front door. So we'll see how whiteRa can handle this. Does he aware of anything yet? All he sees is the Hellions right now. He does not see that Air Force coming in. And looks like he's actually just going to pair him with the main force, so that'll actually be very strong. Banshees do a lot of damage to ground units, and there's that point defense drone, making the Stalkers just irritated and can't shoot anything. And we have a pretty big conflict going down right here. 3 Banshees are in the fight, and they're going to do what they can. Looks like this Banshee's about to go down, but just out of range. Nice positioning by TLO, making sure... Oh, and it does just go down. And it looks like the little one will win this fight. I hope whiteRa has something coming. We'll see what he's got. Little surprised to see, and here it comes, pushing up into the expansion. whiteRa just doing what he can, chrono boosting everything. It looks like this expansion is going to go down. He loses most of those probes. This Raven is out of position. The Stalkers aren't going to be very friendly to it. More Stalkers warping in for whiteRa. Think he'll be able to hold off this attack. We'll see, but does he have? He does have reinforcements on the way. More Banshees, more Marauders, more Marines. This expansion is still up, but about to go down. Those Banshees do so much damage to ground. Observer getting scouted out by the Raven and taken down. Does he have Cloak even? He actually didn't even research Cloak. Throwing down that Nexus a little off position, I believe. Not so sure about throwing that down in the middle of the fight. And this force is going down. I don't think that whiteRa will be able to fight this off. He just doesn't have the units. Those Zealots are going to do almost nothing against this force. Those Banshees will tear him apart, and those Marauders as well. And there is the good game from whiteRa. So the little one takes game 1 here on Metalopolis. Pretty aggressive play from the little one, and whiteRa just did not have the units to handle it. We'll see what happens in game 2. Again, this is Furious Jodo. Thank you for checking this out, and we'll get to the next one.